and Low Country studios of WJCL News. WJCL News at 6, working for you.
On the air at 6 with breaking news we've been on top of all day. New video just into our newsroom shows groups of stranded passengers inside the Escapade as it's grounded on its wild ride. WJCL, the only local station to bring you live coverage as a casino boat returned to shore. Good evening, I'm Kevin Holmes.
And I'm Jennifer Andrews. More than 120 people were stuck in the casino boat off the coast of Tybee more than 12 hours. Well, here you can see some of those passengers arriving home just a short time ago. It happened about a mile and a half off the Tybee shore. Well, the vessel ran aground around midnight. 2 different ships had to come to rescue the passengers from the grounded ship. We have team coverage of this wild escapade. Ashley Lincoln is at the marina where family members anxiously awaited passengers' return. And Chief Storm Tracker meteorologist Jeff Kirk is tracking the water and the wind to show the conditions during the wild escapade. We begin tonight with WJCL's Nick Notario. He has been on this story all day long. He even took a boat out to the site, and he is now live where the passengers were brought back to shore. We were the first to bring you live pictures of those passengers being returned to land. Nick, what a horrible, harrowing experience. What's the situation right now?
Well, right now, the passengers loaded off the
dock here about an hour and a half ago. Let's show you. There's still one of the boats here that brought in about 20 to 30 passengers. There were about 120 of them that were carried off. It was a combination of both passengers but also crew members. Now, here's what happened, or here's what we know. About 12 o'clock last night, U.S. Coast Guard says that the ship struck a sandbarge. Now, exactly how it did so, they're investigating. They don't know at this time. The first priority was to get that ship off. So all morning and afternoon they tried to, or they had a crew come in. A crew came in and tried to move this with tugboats. It did not work. So then it came into evacuation mode, and they were trying to get the people off of the ship safely. They had to come and they had to walk down some of these Jacob ladders, which were tough for 4 people, so they had to evacuate 4 people via helicopter. No one was hurt. Everyone was able to make it off okay, except for those 4 individuals. Now, even though they were out on sea for almost 24 hours, remember this thing took off 7 o'clock on Tuesday night, so even though they were out there, some people were waving, smiling, and we caught up with some of the passengers as they were finally back on shore just a little while ago.
At first, everybody tried to, kind of make light of it and, tried to keep positive. But then it got to the point where, everybody was starting to lose their patience because none of us knew what was going on. We weren't getting any answers.
Okay.
Well, I don't have an IFB.
All right, so here's what's going to happen next.
All right, so here's what's going to happen next. About 1 a.m., there's going to be another attempt to move this ship, which is still stuck off the Tybee Island shore. They're going to try to move that again with tugboats and see if they can get it off. If not, then they're going to go back and try to figure something out. There are 3,500 gallons of fuel in that ship. Good news, none of it at this time is leaking. That is obviously a concern of the Coast Guard. Don't want all that fuel leaking into the water, but as of right now, everything appears to be okay. The Coast Guard is going to be investigating this thing. They're trying to determine how this could have happened to see if any violations had occurred, but we've been told right now it's looking like it was just an accident. A bad accident for the maiden voyage of the Tradewinds Casino Cruise Line, which have been trying to get off there for about a month, but we're going to have more coverage for you later tonight at 10 and 11, but for now, reporting live at the U.S. Coast Guard. Nick Notario, WJCL News, working for you.
All right, Nick, good work out there. Meanwhile, we have pictures just into our newsroom that show the rescue efforts over the last 2 hours. These images show the Coast Guard helicopter coming to and from the escapade.
Meantime, at the Bull River Marina, family members have just been reunited with their passengers.
Ashley Lincoln has been talking to families there all day. She joins us live at the marina. Ashley, they must feel very relieved.
Yeah, Kevin and Jennifer, completely different scene right now. As you look behind me, about an hour ago, this parking lot was packed, filled with cars and family members. Well, this is a good sign because all the cars, all the family members are gone, and that means that they are home and back on dry land. I want to start off with a picture that a passenger on that boat sent us. Her name was Angel Logan. She showed us the picture, and you can see how the boat looks like it's just sitting on an island. And she said that's what it felt like when they were out there. They said around 9 o'clock last night, they knew that they hit something strange because they felt the boat shake. And one of the problems that they said that they had on the boat, they said the crew treated them well, but the issue that they had was the lack of transparency between the crew and the passengers on the ship. They said for about 2 hours before they knew that rocking happened, they knew something was wrong, but the crew did not tell them that they actually hit a sandbar. It wasn't until around 11 o'clock last night that they knew what was going on. Another thing that they brought up to me, that the captain told them that the sandbars were not on the map. It was kind of a unforeseen thing that they saw. They didn't expect to hit it, and that's why it happened. Now, they also went on and told me that they didn't reach out to the Coast Guard until this morning, and she said another issue that they had is that they told passenger and crew last night that they were in talks with the Coast Guard. But here's some sound of some passengers shortly after they got off the boat today.
Very scary, harrowing in every syllable of that word, because to get off of that boat, see all of that water out there, my Lord. There was a beach. The only dry land that I know of that water just left was the parting of the Red Sea, and we weren't there. There was mud, it was quicksand, it was harrowing.
And a lot of different emotions. We have some people who are angry, some people who are distraught, and some people who are just happy that everything worked out in their favor in the long run. Now, passengers also told me that the owners were on that boat, but throughout this whole ordeal, they never came out to acknowledge the passengers on the boat. That's another issue. A lot of passengers were very upset about that. Neither of the owners came out to acknowledge what happened or address them to reassure them what was going on. That falls back on that transparency issue that they were having with the lines of communications on knowing what was going on. They did tell me that their saving grace was the Coast Guard. They say once the Coast Guard got out there, everything went efficiently. It went very smoothly, and they knew that they were in safe hands. But overall, they're just happy to be back. They're happy to be able to get some fresh air and get home and get some rest, because this has definitely been a long